Hi, this is Gary Goodwin, founder of The Stuck Creative, and welcome to Part 3, The Daily Appointment. Part 1 emphasized the why. Why do you want to work daily and the power that comes out of that? Part 2 laid out the secrets of how to set up, how to build your own daily appointment for work. The first caution comes from sliding your appointment. So instead of knocking it out when you had scheduled, you decide to go ahead and move it later in the day, or at least that's what you think you'll be doing. The caution here is if you don't reappoint your appointment, the odds are you'll continually push it forward, and when the end of the day comes around, you will not have achieved your 10 or 15 or 20-minute work session. So the secret is, as soon as you know you can't make your regular appointment, think through and visualize when and where you'll be doing that appointment later in the day, and make it clear in your mind. Another caution is when we know we're going to have to take a break from our daily appointments, and I'm talking about several days or longer, the last day that you're working, take a moment or two and clearly mark it down or put it in your mind when you can pick up your daily appointments again. If we don't do that, a lot of time can go by before we remember or before we jump back into where we had been. A week can go by, 2 weeks, months can go by. So all it takes is taking a moment and say, okay, I'm stopping here on April 15th. I will be able to pick it up realistically again on April 20th. So I put that on my calendar. I put reminders around the house or at work or wherever, so I actually pick it up again. The following are success hacks. In other words, how to increase the likelihood and success rates of getting to your daily appointment and getting through it. Some of them pertain to what to do before your appointment. A couple are about what to do within your appointment, and then a little bit about what to do after your daily appointment. Before your daily appointment, build in a little bit of transition time, and it doesn't have to be a formal transition time, but it certainly should be a mental preparation time. The transition is that buffer ground, that space where you collect your thoughts, you let go what you'd been working on a few minutes earlier, and you anticipate what's coming up next. Also mentally, expect resistance. That part of us that says, I just don't want to work, I don't want to make the switch, I'll just skip today, pick it up tomorrow. Expect that. That's normal. There's nothing wrong with what you're working on or the status of how the project's going. There's nothing wrong with you. This is just normal. Because on any given day, we're going to be faced with three perspectives on our work. One is we're fired up, we're ready to go, we're very enthusiastic. Other days we're going to feel resistance. Lots of reasons are going to come to mind not to go ahead and do our work. And some days are just going to be neutral. Even feeling neutral has its problems because some people make the calculation if they're feeling neutral about their project, then there's something wrong with their progress. There's something wrong with what they're working on. It's not true. Neutral's fine. We should expect neutral or resistance days or very positive days. Whatever happens, whatever our sort of inner weather is, we should pursue and keep that 10, 15, 20, 25-minute work period. Keep to our appointments. And lastly, this could be part of the transition. We may need to take a little bit of time to refresh ourselves. There may be something like a few moments going outside, a cup of coffee, whatever it takes, build that in a few minutes or half an hour ahead of your appointment so you can catch your breath, so you can revitalize yourself before your appointment. If you go to thestuckcreative.com, you're going to find a tool there called the Tomato Timer. Sometimes this is called the Pomodoro technique, and it's a way to focus and concentrate and keep you in the room, keep you focused on your project, and you'll have to go there to learn a little bit more about it, but it's a very valuable tool. It has helped lots of people. Now, keeping score may not be the first thing that comes to mind that you want to do, but is tremendously important because ultimately what we're doing here is developing a habit. So we have to look at consistency and the quality of our daily appointment. The consistency is keeping track, and it can be very informal on a calendar, on a notepad, or there are apps for this. It's keeping track of how many days did you make it to your daily appointment. Simply mark off in the calendar the days you make it, and take notice about the gaps in the calendar, and just see if you can keep a chain going of days that you've made it to your appointment. The second scoring is around completeness of our work session. Some days we're going to be able to complete 100% of our work session, no problems. Other days we'll find ourselves only able to complete 50% or 25% or whatever percentage less than 100%. We're building a habit with our daily appointment, so we should see any percentage that we're able to complete, especially in the early part of this habit building, is a positive experience and a positive accomplishment. I want to get away from the polar thinking of either we completed at 100%, which was a success, or anything less than that was a failure. That's not true. We're building a habit. Habits need to be built over time, and they're a process, and each process that we can accumulate towards developing the overall habit is positive. So keep a score. This is an informal sort of thing. Here's an example. You can see that there are various levels of scores. Keep track of that for each day that you work. And if all goes well, over time, as the habit becomes stronger and becomes more automatic, you find yourself more frequently than not completing your work session. That's it on this tool, the daily appointment. Extremely valuable. I hope you'll go to The Stuck Creative because there are more tools there, more resources, and I wish you all the success of working daily. This is Gary Goodwin, founder of The Stuck Creative. And lastly, for more resources about getting unstuck and getting started and moving forward, please come on over to my blog site called thestuckcreative.com. There you're going to find additional tips, you're going to find links to other recordings and related materials, and also links to recommended resources. So I'll see you over at thestuckcreative.com.